Hey guys, how's it going? It's Paul Liberatore from Sutton. I'm just doing a video to answer some of the questions that I've been getting the last couple of weeks. I haven't done a video in a long time, so this one might be a long one. I am gonna earmark on the YouTube video specific places where you can click to get to specific things if you don't want to go through the whole thing. I feel like a lot of people have a lot of time on their hands, so maybe they do want to watch it. But I've been getting a lot of questions, and I figured versus me calling everybody individually or mailing them out or doing an email, I figured I would just do a video and try to answer as many questions as I can. So it might be a long video, but hopefully you guys take something from this. And of course, if there's you guys have any questions, you can always call, text, email me, and I will get back to you because I'm basically at home working from home. So I'll have a lot of time to answer your questions. So let's start. The first thing, okay, so obviously the big thing that's on people's mind is COVID-19, the coronavirus, what it's doing to the real estate market, what we're seeing. And I can tell you that for me personally, and talking to a lot of agents in my office and colleagues in the field, that the market's pretty much on hold. We're not seeing much as far as listings or sales, it's weird. The stats came out for March. They always come out the first week of the next month, so they actually came out pretty early. They came out 2 days ago here in April, so they came out for March, and it's kind of a tale of two 2 week period. So the first 2 weeks in March were the busiest 2 weeks of the whole year, believe it or not. So March 1st to 15th, the busiest 2 week period of 2020, although it's a short year so far. And then obviously March 15th till the end of March, we're super slow. So it's a little bit hard. I'm going to read out some of the stats, but keep in mind that we're a little bit behind because what's going on right now in April 1st, 2nd, 3rd is not going to be recorded until May 1st or 2nd when the stats come out. So we're almost dealing with we're almost about a month behind, so keep that in mind. That being said, numbers wise, I'm just going to pull them up here so I can read them off. So numbers wise, we actually look really good for March. If anybody that's worked with me in the past knows that I put as much stock into absorption rate as I do anything else in the market. People say, what's the market doing? What are the prices doing? If you boil it all down, and I'm a numbers guy, and you break it all down, everything comes down to absorption. So that is the amount of listings that get put out versus the amount of listings that get sold. So I look at this rate probably more than anything, because this will tell you trend wise if we're in a balanced market, which is 12 to 20% absorption, if we're in a seller's market, which is 20% and over, and if we're in a buyer's market, which is that 0 to 12%. So if you keep that in mind, keep that number in mind, that 20% being the top of a balanced market. Looking last month, our absorption for detached homes, which people say are slow, was 21%. So we're just over that 20% mark. Townhouses were 33% absorption. So that means for every townhouse that gets put out in this month, for every 3 townhouses, 1 gets sold right away. So 33% for townhouses and 28, almost 29% for condos. So super, super busy, which means there's not a lot of product on the market. And there was a ton of buyers up until this kind of lull. What we're seeing now, people are kind of just on the fence where they want to see what's happening. So the absorption rates are still super high. So if people are wondering if the market's crashing, what's going to happen, my honest opinion, and just from what I've seen, I think we're going to see the market come down a little bit. I think sales we're going to see come down a ton. So for realtors, that's bad news. We might see 20% less sales. That's transactions, right? So for realtors, it's not great. For buyers and sellers, it's not going to affect you too much because it's just the number of transactions, the number of time title changes. But I think as far as the pricing goes, we'll probably see, in my opinion, I think we'll see a 2 or 3% drop. So nothing crazy because of this COVID-19. And then I think once the dust settles, I think you'll see things pick back up because the numbers that we're seeing right now are strong. Up until this COVID happened, we didn't have enough product on the market for the amount of buyers that there were. So I was losing out and winning and losing in multiple offers. Everything that was attached, condos, townhouses, you could pretty much expect that you'd be writing in competition. So sucks for buyers, great for sellers. Houses a little bit less. Houses, you had a little bit more time to look through them and a little bit more options, but definitely wasn't enough product especially in the Tri-Cities, Burnaby, Coquitlam, New West, Port Moody. That's way more than 3 cities, but in that pocket there in the like suburbia, we're seeing a lot of multiple offers. So that was kind of what's going on for COVID and the market. Everything's kind of on hold. We're just kind of waiting to see, what happened. We were realtors were listed as an essential service by the government, so we are still working, but we're very, very limited what we can do. So we're not allowed to do open houses anymore, which I think is great. When we do showings, me personally, I've added an extra layer of, I'm taking this pretty seriously, this quarantine. So there's certain things that we have to do by mandated, and then there's an additional layer that I'm doing. So I will vet all the buyers. I'll make them sign a form saying that they haven't traveled if they in the last 2 weeks, that they haven't had flu-like symptoms. They've got to sign that waiver before they can see anything. They're not allowed to sit on the furniture. They're not allowed to use the washrooms. They come in one at a time. They have to wear gloves. They have to wear masks. They have to wear boot covers that are provided. It's pretty intense. So, and I also make them drive by the area first. And I have quite a candid conversation with their agents as well, as far as their qualifications. So they're basically, what I'm trying to say is they're being vetted really well before anybody walks into anybody else's home. We make sure that they're qualified, ready to buy. They're not just looking, wasting time, potentially infecting anything. So, and then if they are qualified and they're vetted properly, we then make them do another host of things. So that's kind of what I'm doing, and no open houses, and trying to limit everything that we can. There's still a lot of stuff. Realtors are complaining. There's still a lot of stuff we can do from home. This is the perfect time to get in front of clients that we haven't talked to in a long time. Sometimes we get so busy and it sucks, especially for somebody like me who likes to talk, who likes to be social, who likes to joke. Sometimes it's I haven't been in front of a client, or most of my clients are friends, so I haven't been in front of them in a long time, and it's kind of nice to be able to send out some emails, send out some texts, and see how people are doing, just kind of catching up with people. So I'm taking a positive out of this. It's giving me some time to just catch up with people that I've done deals with 2 years ago, 3, 4, 5 years ago. I haven't seen or heard from them, outside of like our typical emails that we send. It's kind of nice to actually pick up the phone and see. I remember when the kids were babies when we sold them the house, and now they're sending me a photo of their kids, and they're 6, 7 years old, and it's just it's really cool to see. So that's something that I'm taking as a positive. Sounds a little bit cheesy, but it's kind of nice just to see what people are doing and getting in front of people and catching up. So that's stats. That's what we're doing for COVID. The next thing I wanted to talk about was interest rates. Super, super low. I get why they're doing it. They're trying to not create panic in the market. They're trying to make things more affordable. I think the government has done a good job realizing that the economy is and it's a tough time right now for the economy. So what they're doing is they're making mortgage rates super affordable. This is the lowest I've seen rates, man, oh man, in a decade. They're super low, especially on a variable. Really aggressive rates are basically, it's the cheapest time to borrow money right now. That being said, I'm not advocating for people to go out there and getting huge mortgages. I realize I think there's over 1 million people, more than that, that have applied for EI. So a lot of people are laid off, my wife included. So we know what that's like. So I get it. It's a tough time out there for people. People are a bit hesitant. So be mindful of, if you are purchasing out of necessity or just because you think it's a good time, be mindful of the loan amount that you're taking out, because things, as we can see, things can change in an instant. So you always want to have a bit of backing financially to get you through 3, 4, 5 months in case something happens like this. So be mindful of just, I always tell people, just because the bank will approve you for a $700,000 mortgage doesn't necessarily mean that you can afford that mortgage comfortably with your lifestyle. So those are two different things that sometimes people don't realize. They say, well, I'm approved for this much because I make this much money and I have this much debt, and that's great. But then I know that the lifestyle may not, be able to support that mortgage payment every month, that $2,000 or $3,000 mortgage payment every month. So I'm always err on the side of being conservative, being cautious. I'm not saying not to buy. I'm just saying be cautious with your mortgage amounts, and kind of live within your means. So that's something that, as much as I want you to call me back in 2 years saying you have to sell, I don't want you to call me back saying 2 years that you're forced to sell, right? I want you to call me saying that you want to sell. So be mindful of your mortgage amounts, even though they're super cheap now. Really good time to get a mortgage, or if you're renewing your mortgage, you've hit a good time. This next question is something that I received. I've actually received 3 people in the last 2 weeks have asked me about this. So getting out of contracts because of COVID-19, or just getting out of contracts in general. So, and never a good idea. The contracts that we write are actually called interim agreements. And if they're written properly, which that's a whole nother blog post, I'm not going to get into it too much, but there a lot of realtors don't write enforceable contracts. Probably more realtors than not do not write enforceable contracts. So that's a whole nother blog post. But anyways, an enforceable contract with a good agent, they're hard to get out of. They're almost impossible to get out of, even in cases, they've got caveats in there for fire damage if the place is destroyed. They have wind, water, fire. Like there's things in there. Like they've really made it hard to get out of contract. So just because there is this this pandemic, it's not going to be easy to get out of a contract. One of the biggest misconceptions that people say, they say, well, I put down $50,000. I'm supposed to close on this house in a month. I've got laid off. I can't afford it. I'm going to walk away from my deposit. It's not that simple. So that's the first part of it. The first part is your $50,000 deposit is typically held in trust at your buyer's agent's office in their trust account. So that's $50,000 there. We're not able to release that. If somebody says, the buyer says, hey, give me my money back, we're not able to release it. It's trust money. It's part of the contract. It's not our money anymore. So although it's in Sutton's trust account, we're not able to release that money. So unless both buyer and seller sign off saying to release it back to the buyer, which they're not going to do. So if you're walking away, sometimes they will, if it's an extenuating circumstance, or they'll say, you know what, give me half of it and I'll give you half back and I'll resell my property. All kind of depends what the market's doing, but that's only half of it. So yes, they can go to the courts, apply to the judge. The judge will give them a release. Likely, if everything's done properly, the judge will say, yeah, they're defaulting on their contract. You can release the deposit to the seller. Then what happens is the seller actually has what's called a duty to mitigate. So they've got to go back to market. They've got to prove, and then whatever price that they get, whatever the shortfall is. So let's just say that the market's on a downhill, because that's typically when people want to get out of contracts, is when the market's going down. So if the market's going down and all of a sudden the price that they got is $100,000 more than the price that they're gonna get, and they've relinquished your $50,000, they've taken your $50,000, they can actually sue you for the remaining $50,000. And then some, plus moving fees, plus storage expenses. So yes, the seller has a duty. They have a duty to mitigate. They've got to go back to market. They've got to go to court and prove to the judge that, the realtors were doing open houses and doing showings, and they've had this many showings. But it's a pretty lackadaisical thing where they prove that, and then whatever the shortfall is, you can also be sued for more. So bottom line is, it's not just your deposit that they can take and you walk away and your hands are clean. They can take your deposit and then some. They can sue you for, so it's the difference of whatever they had with your offer to whatever they're going to get with the next offer. They can sue you for that. So keep that in mind. Again, just to put this out there, caveat, I'm not a lawyer. So my advice is just from the real estate side of it. Obviously, our first thing that we'll tell you is please talk to a lawyer. I have a good little team of lawyers. If you need advice, just somebody to talk to, and they'll kind of tell you how things go. I'm just telling you from this is my own personal experiences of what I've seen when people have walked away from deals. It doesn't happen often, but when it does, this is the way I've seen them play out. But again, if you're in this situation, talk to a lawyer and we can help you out with that. The next topic, just what we're doing. So me personally, we're taking this quarantine really serious, my wife and I. So we haven't been in contact with anybody. We've done a ton of podcasts, listening to podcasts. My wife's reading books. We've been binge watching Netflix. I'm currently on Ozark, which I think it's been pretty good. Tiger King. What a bizarre show that is. So we've been doing that. Tons of walks and hikes. Again, social distancing. Our dog is over the moon that we're home, more my wife than I, but he's literally her shadow. So he's happy we're home to take him out all the time. He's probably confused of what the heck's going on here. Mom and dad are home the whole time. So we've been just doing a lot of that. We've been trying to keep active, cooking, and that's basically what we're doing. We're just gonna take time to reset and do our part, and hopefully everything blows over as soon as possible. Me personally, I'm trying not to watch the news for more than about a half an hour a day. I check up on the stats because, again, I'm a numbers guy. Sorry, my dog's just going nuts here. I check up on the stats because I'm a numbers guy. So I do like to see what, if, this curve is flattening, or certain areas. We have family in Europe, family in Italy. So I've been checking with them luckily everybody that my family's been good. So we're doing that, but I'm trying to limit my interactions about this virus, because I do find that as much as I like to be informed, it does weigh on me mentally as well. So trying to keep a healthy mind, working out at home, walks, and just FaceTiming family and trying to reset. So that's kind of good. Again, catching up on work as well. There's some stuff that I didn't realize, that when you're busy in real estate, you neglect some of the basic things, the systems that you put in place and all that. So this has actually been a pretty good time for me to kind of just revisit those processes, that'll hopefully, when the market does pick up in a few months, that hopefully those processes I'm kind of cleaning up now will help me be a little bit more efficient that way. And what else? Oh yeah, okay. The last thing that I want to get to is I saw a realtor colleague, friend, post something. Good realtor. She had posted that she had partnered up with a pizza place, and she was dropping off. She'd bought like bunch of pizzas, and she was dropping off dinner for healthcare workers, which I thought was amazing. Just like going out of her way to do this. She's got 3 kids, I believe. She's busy with work and stuff, and just for her to do that was amazing. So shout out to Jen Ricky. Awesome job doing that. So thank you for that. And so I was talking to my wife about what we could do to help. And as much as we're trying to keep our distance and everything, we do want to help. So she had found that there's a cafe by her work called, I'm going to screw this up, but I think it's called Giovane Cafe. And I think it's in the Fairmont, if I'm not mistaken. Anyways, they are doing, they're offering free coffees, lattes, hot drinks and stuff for anybody that works. I think they're right across from St. Paul's. So anybody that works, any healthcare worker just has to show ID, and then they get free coffee, which we think is amazing. And they're also offering $5. So for every meal that you purchase, they will donate one to a healthcare worker. And you can also, for $5 per meal, you can donate, and they will deliver a meal to a healthcare worker for $5. So my wife and I have pledged to donate this week. We're going to be donating 25 meals through them. And there's an app, and I'm going to get it wrong here, but it's done through the Ritual app. I'm just looking up here. It's done through the Ritual app, and yeah, it's a meal donation to healthcare workers, $5 per meal. So anything helps. So that's my challenge too. If there's any other realtors that are out there, that's my challenge to you. If you can donate anything you can, even if it's 2 meals, 3 meals, 5 meals, to say thank you to all the healthcare workers, because I can't imagine what they're doing. My cousin is actually a nurse in Italy, and so much respect for them putting themselves on the front lines. We have friends that are nurses, firemen, police, still having to work, being in front of people, dealing with people where we're kind of safe and locked up in our houses. They're on the front lines and putting themselves at risk and their families at risk. So I know it sounds cliche, it sounds cheesy, but it's amazing, amazing stuff that they're doing. We appreciate it. So we just kind of wanted to give back a little bit, and we're going to try to do this as a weekly thing. Anyway, so that's a challenge to realtors. If anybody wants to do that as well, and we can, send me a DM. If realtors, non-realtors, whatever, send me a DM. I can forward you the link that we got here for that program. And that's basically it. So anything else, please feel free to DM me, call me, email me, information up there. You can, any sort of social media or email, phone call. And I'm also going to be doing a question and answer period on Instagram. I did one last week. It's kind of funny. I had a lot of fun with it, and had like 20 questions, which were good questions. They do cut me off in a short amount of time, which I think a lot of people like, because I tend to ramble, as you can tell, as we're at the 20-minute mark here. So I will try to answer. I'll do that tonight and answer questions tomorrow. So any questions, and it's all anonymous. So I know some people are embarrassed to ask questions they think are bad questions, but any real estate questions you have, fire it off on Instagram, and there's no names mentioned. So ask me any question and I will do my best to answer it. So wishing that every single person that is watching this, if you're watching it, you're very likely, friend, family, client, important people in my life. So I'm wishing everybody health and safety. I just want everybody to be healthy and come out of this and get back to normal. So thank you for watching, and yeah, we'll talk soon.